Let's look at snapping to grid. Let me hide my transport bar really quickly here. I'm recording at a screen size of 800 by 600 for the purpose of tutorial, and my snap to grid is off the screen, so let me hide some of these toolbars temporarily. And I have a whole tutorial on customizing the toolbar up here, so if you want to know how to do what I'm doing right now, just watch that tutorial. I'm going to hide some of the things that I'm not using to make more room up here. I'm not using my nudge palette. I am not using my time display. Okay, here's our snap to grid area over here. This is like such an important part of editing, recording and editing, that I really couldn't live without it. Every software has snap to grid, and they all basically do the same thing. Here's what snap to grid does. When this enables the snap to grid, it turns it on and it turns it off. When it's off, it lets you move your file around freely however you want to move it. You can put it anywhere you want. I'll Control C and undo that. But when you turn on the snap to grid, you decide these increments, like 1 to 1 would be a full bar, or I could select bar over here, which means it would only let me snap this file onto a bar line once I turn it on. So now it's only letting me move this file to a bar line, which is invaluable, because what if you had somebody play this? Look, this file here does not start on a bar line. What if this was played on time, which it actually is, it's on time with the click, and what if I wanted to copy this to another chorus or verse, and what if I wanted to move it to another chorus or verse? I have to move it so that it'll be on time the way it was played, and here's how you do that. Quick and easy. You enable your snap to grid, and then I'm actually going to go for quarter note, and I'll show you how to do this in a second. What I'll do is I'll tuck it in so I'm not going to hear the beginning of it, and I see it starts on bar 3, but don't worry, we'll get that beginning of it back. I just need to tuck it in so that the file starts right on a bar line, or right on one of the grid lines. Now I can move this from bar number 3 to bar number 4. See, this is bar number 3, beat 1, 2, beat 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's beat 4, and bar number 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I moved it from 3 on bar 3 to 3 on bar 4, which means it's still on time with the beat, because I moved it, I snapped it to the bar, and then I moved it to the bar, so it's still on the bar. Then I can shut off the snap to grid, and I can come over here and untuck that piece that I didn't want to lose. So effectively what I just did was I copied a file from one bar to another bar and kept it on the same timing. And you have to do this, because if some guitar player plays something and you try to line it up by hand, it's never really the same. But if you do it like that and you copy it from verse to chorus, it'll be exactly on time how we played it. Now let's look at some of our other options on our snap to bar and snap to grid. We have snap to bar, which is just a quick way to keep it so it only snaps to a bar line. That's really common, so that's why they make a whole setting here just for a bar line. Here's a quick setting too to make it snap to the beat. Look, it's on beat 4, beat 3, beat 2, beat 1. When you snap like this, the performance may become one beat off time, but it's technically not off time with the song. So it's on time, but it's maybe one beat off. So that's better than being off time. So you go like this, you say, hey, it's early, hey, it's late. It's either on time or off by a beat. Now if we go to use quantize here in Cubase, by the way, that little tic-tac-toe board over here is the snap to grid, which is what we're looking at right now, snap to grid. Then I can choose increments, like I could choose an eighth note, which means it would move by half a beat now. I could choose a 16th note, which means it'll move by a quarter of a beat now, but it still stays on time. It's either going to be on time or off by a quarter of a beat. So these quantize is invaluable in editing, for being able to cut and paste guitar parts and vocals from verse to verse and chorus to chorus, and move them from bar to bar, and preserve the timing of how they were played.